evening, dear viewers of Royal Television, and welcome once more to another edition of Sports Box with me, Kusona Claudia Voma. Today we have a lot in the box to talk about: Cameroon football, African football, the national team, the Southwest region, and why not the preparations for the grand finale, that is the Champions League. As we go on this breather, when we come back, we send that out of the box. Yes, you are welcome back, and to tell you, Sports Box comes to you every Mondays, Wednesdays and Fridays from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. and why not weekend sports from 8 a.m. to 10, that is on Saturday. And today, like we told you, we'll be talking about the final decision from the Homologation and Disciplinary Committee of the Southwest Regional League of FECAFOOT, where they have actually come to a conclusion with the official classification comes to that league. And mind you, that decision was made yesterday public by that committee to tell you the 8 teams that have qualified already for the Southwest mini interpose. And mind you, that 8 teams comes with a lot, and that 8 teams, they are qualified for the regional super league, and the 2/3, the 2 best thirds will join them to make it 10 for next year's super league. And to tell you that in pool A, we have the likes of Fako United, who actually qualified there first with a total of 23 points made, closely followed, and to join them in that same mini interpose is Talented Football Academy, who sits there with 20 points. And mind you, Kamjo came third with 18 points. Are they going to be one of the best thirds? That will be decided by that commission. And in Pool B, we have the likes of Elexport Football Academy, all the way from Limbe, who qualified first in Pool B with 26 points. And followed closely, we have the Cheki Boys, that is a Sinode Football Academy, with 21 points. Those 2 teams qualified to join Fako United, and why not Talented at the Southwest mini interpose. And in Pool C, we have the likes of Summer Sports Academy, who qualified with 6 points, won 5 games, drew 1, lost 2. We have Option Sports Academy all the way from Limbe, who joins them there to seal that Pool C games. We have in Pool D Legend Football Academy all the way from Kumba, and Manu United from Manfe. They are the 2 teams in Pool D, that is, we call it the Meme Manu Zone, who qualify to join the other 6 at the mini interpose. Who is going to join these 8 teams at the Super League next year? That will be decided. So we take you straight to what we have, and to introduce who we have here as guests today, we have Hilarion Tukov. I call him my very good friend. You're welcome, Hilarion.
Thank you, Claudia. It's a pleasure to be here.
Always a pleasure having you here.
Of course, and for us to look at sports, that is what we talk about, passion.
Definitely. Mind you, Hilarion Tukov stands as the team press officer for the Southwest Regional League of FECAFOOT. He's my boss, though.
Not actually a boss, but a month of just collaboration, working with others.
That doesn't change the fact that you're my boss. You always remain my boss. So without wasting time, Hilarion, let's dive straight to talk about Cameroon. Cameroon will begin a new era after missing out at the 2026 World Cup, that is in the United States of America, Canada, and why not Mexico. What can you say about Cameroon's miss in this World Cup?
Well, it's a blunder for a nation like Cameroon. We are looking at a 5-time AFCON winners, and then a nation that has made itself known as far as the landscape of Africa and even the globe as well. And so I think it is more of a pathway that the errors are being corrected just from the diversion of Eto'o taking back his second mandate, bringing in another dimension of appointing the coach, not the ministry running the affairs, because what destroyed Cameroon football was the kind of confidence that Cameroonians place on the Ministry of Sport, and then in selecting the coaches or those in charge of the technical bench, that has led us to the blunder that we are facing now. And we look at a certain young man, a certain guy like Samuel Eto'o at the helm of FECAFOOT, and then somebody who has played football and is coming back to manage football. I think it is a new pathway for Cameroon which we are approaching. but rather Cameroon missing out for this year's FIFA edition. It's a blunder that it is not a motion for us to rejoice about or for us to even talk about FIFA. It is a motion for Cameroonians to weep about Indomitable Lions' absence as far as this sport jamboree is concerned.
But I see a lot of people leveling the blame at the level of the coach for making Cameroon not to qualify. Is it only the coach who plays the ball, or though he is a part of the technical team who has to always go back to the drawing boards to bring out tactics and techniques for our players, does it only rely on the coach to qualify?
I think the dimension in any in the Lions den or in any technical team or whatsoever comes from the way the coach relates with the players, as well as the administrators or the leaders as far as that team is concerned. When we look at the level of the Indomitable Lions in previous months before the coming of Coach David Pago, we note that it was a kind of tense atmosphere within the Lions den. You look at the likes of the atmosphere between Eto, somebody who is in charge of Faker Food, the president and the coach of the Indomitable Lions, not working in close collaboration. Those are some of the key areas that you discover that the tensions were there. And then you look at the kind of players you put into the field, it's like a challenge to another person. You are putting these players just to prove something. So those are the kind of, sometimes the delivering is not about whatever comes in. The delivering comes from the way we try to restructure administration. Administration within Cameroon within that period was a disaster. And that is the consequences we are suffering now.
So bringing back the aspect that Cameroon did not actually program the 2 games for this international break, because we know each time a FIFA gives an international break, teams have to play at least 2 friendlies. But with the likes of David Pago, who came out to tell us that he wants his players to have some rest, are you sure these players need to rest, or is there an internal something we don't know about?
The problem with Cameroon football is that there are always internal issues. And when we look at Cameroon football, it is yet that stakeholders within Cameroon football sector are yet to recognize that there is a difference between football and there is a difference between the game of football.
Definitely.
The game of football means football, we are playing football for the promotion of kind of business, a business mindset. But when we look at football, it's just like a kind of, you pick your junior brother from the backyard to go and represent the Lions there. That is just a mentality that he can deliver, so let him go, without recognizing that there are issues that you have to settle by picking any guy out there. So when you look at the decision of Coach David Pago settling that Cameroon should not participate in any international competition within this break, I buy within his idea. But buying within his idea is like he has another strategy of bringing out those who will participate in the qualifiers.
Do you think these players are tired? Rest?
For me, I would say the players need a rest.
Because it's end of season for most of these players applying their trade abroad.
It's an advantage that Cameroon is not participating in the FIFA break. And so sometimes recamping these players warrants some negotiations and orders. And sometimes you as a coach, you need to go back into your drawing box and then you decide how to re-strategize and set plans. I believe so much in David Pago as far as his game plan is concerned. When we look at the Lions, I believe so much in his game plan. And then coming up with this new decision, I also buy into it, seeing that it is a period for the guys who have been struggling out there in their different leagues, relegated, some lifting the trophies and others. And so it's a plus to say, let them rest and then re-strategize and program for their next encounter, which is the 2027 qualifiers.
Okay, so I can say one day and boldly hit my chest that Hilarion once said he believes so much in whatever decision David Pago, that is the head coach of the Cameroon national team, takes. Can I say that?
You know, sometimes whatever decision becomes the problem there. Buying into his game plan, buying into his decision doesn't mean I have to buy into all the masterminded decisions he takes. There are some, normally, openly saying, we are champions of Eto. We support Eto. But there are some kind of decisions that even when you say, no, he's right, you go back into your room and you're asking yourself, was this really something fighting for?
But you see animated pictures online where some people are saying David Pago tells the public these players need to rest. But on the other hand, Eto is saying there's no fun. The budget, the coffers are empty. So what do you think? These rumors, are they true? Or?
Well, you know, journalism is about sources.
Okay.
Let's talk about source. The official source we have here is a communique from Feka Food.
Saying that the players need rest.
The players need to rest. And that is what we are settling on. Rumors will always come as far as journalism is concerned, communication is concerned.
Definitely.
I can still tell you that another reason is because there is a kind of conflict between Eto and Coach David Pago on who to call for the international break and so on.
Definitely.
So those are kind of different decisions. But the kind of information that comes up openly, this is what we are accepting as far as the correct news.
Okay, so can you say it is time to actually rebuild our national team among young players?
Rebuilding national team among young players, that is where the danger comes in.
Okay.
That is like completely eradicating those who have been there. Now let me come back. Let me take you back to AFCON, the last AFCON that Cameroon participated in. These are one of the certain decisions of Coach David Pago that I will say that I will never buy into. Keeping Abubakar out of the list as far as AFCON is concerned.
I'm bringing in more younger players.
Bringing more younger. That was a very bad idea.
Why sometimes, so?
Sometimes the experienced guys there, they are not there as in.
They need to bring in the expertise to carry along with these youngsters.
Exactly. So sometimes you see these players going into the pitch. 2017, when Cameroon lifted the AFCON trophy.
That was in Gabon.
In Gabon.
Yes.
This guy who was second, did not go there, Joseph Nkulu. He did not go there because he was an expert or whatever. He went there because of the experience as far as AFCON competitions are concerned.
Yeah.
And so sometimes it's not even about the ego and about the tension. If we are fighting to see that Cameroon should be at the center, let's put Cameroon at center and settle our scores aside. And so keep everything aside, and then we say that let's forge ahead. And so coming back to say that we are building a national team that will only evolve around younger players. It's a very dangerous adventure that Coach David Pago will want to take in. He might deliver and he might fail. But let's look at...
It's a 50-50 probability though.
Let's look at the experience that these guys have. You are bringing somebody like Vincent Abubakar. How many AFCON tickets does he has? You are bringing in something like Brian Bomo. And so those are kinds of guys that come in as a booster to the young guys to tell you that no, you can deliver whenever the tasks have been given to you. It's not a big... You can take somebody and then you put that person in the bench. Not all the players who went for AFCON 2025 participated.
Actually played, yes.
Yes, so some of them went there and they sat on the bench. You can still do that with those experienced
we discover
guys.
With that same list, most of the new faces were the ones always current on the pitch.
Yeah, that is another issue too. And we say that sometimes the experience counts as far as football is concerned. The way Vincent Abubakar will want to play his game will not be the same way Carl Eyong would deliver.
Or Christian Kofan.
Yeah. Abubakar knows that this is the time for me to strike. This is the time I've been playing with this guy. This is how he does. But you are bringing in a young guy who has just evolved from a local league or maybe an African league, who has never participated in AFCON, and you discover Cameroon being voted out as far as AFCON is concerned was just because of the lack of experience of the young guys who were there. They could not meet up to the match of the guys who were in the pitch.
So coming back to these aspects of youngsters, if you were given the opportunity and given the time to choose which veteran you wish to stay in the team while the youngsters keep coming, who are you going to choose? Or which veterans are you going to think they have to stay back in the national team to carry along with the younger players?
We have a plethora of guys who have often made up with the expectations whenever they are being called up. We talk about Vincent Abubakar.
Okay.
We talk about the likes of Nuhu Tolo. We talk about Fai Collins, though clubless. We talk about the guy Brian Bomo, Kevin Kuto.
Brian Bomo it's a recent name.
He's a recent name as far as...
We're talking about the likes of Vincent Abubakar, the Andre Onanas, and
for me, Andre Onana stands as a threat as far as Cameroon participation in any tournament is concerned. This is a guy who can deliver, but this is a guy whose ego and pride is bringing him down. There are kind
why don't you think maybe the ego came as a result of something?
You know, let me just say, at the start of the program, you made mention that I'm your boss. If we have our personal issues as far as whatever is concerned, if I have to deliver, you have to deliver a report, you have to deliver.
Of course.
You have been invited for coverage and you are there, you have to deliver the report. Let's keep aside whatever issues we have or the friendship and whatever.
Yeah.
So
you
for
have
the
to
fact
do your job when it's necessary.
Exactly. So a kind of measuring your shoulders or your level heights with let me say Eto is my godfather, this person is this to me, I can do this, I can instruct the players, I can do this. Those are the kinds of things that bring you out. And then granting unnecessary interviews. Going out to the press unnecessary. We journalists have our strategies. There is a way you are being sugarcoated to list out something that you are not even expecting. And then you start dishing it out. There are people, you see, when you look into football and any sector, look around all the stakeholders, they are not satisfied. But you hardly hear some of them going out unnecessarily to make a kind of complain and all that. So there are kind of things that you bury within yourself, and you make sure that those things never exist.
Definitely, that's the rule number one of the national team. I've been in the national team, a junior category, and when we arrive the camp, the first day it will be, they will tell you guys, everything that happens here stays here.
As far as
you don't take what happens here out of this place. No, but we see Andre Onana coming up on social media, different platforms. Today is Instagram, tomorrow is TikTok, tomorrow the other day is Snapchat, to explain things that have happened in the den. That I will blame him too. That was not right. He made a mistake, but that does not mean he should not be caught up.
No, but, well, he should not be called up. Is a kind of let's just say now that is a kind of keeping somebody aside from destroying the mindset of others who are coming in, or maybe inflecting them with a kind of bad mentality. I tell you, these young guys are coming, they see Onana as somebody who is a legend when it comes to the goalpost.
Definitely.
But when you bring him then and you keep the others aside, and then he's acting as a mentor to others and influencing, let's say he stands and challenges the coach that no, I should be the only one to enter the pitch now, and no, change with this person, and then they respect that. The other junior man who has just arrived then is copying that same mentality. Whenever he has that opportunity, he displays the same character. And so sometimes, for me, Onana he should already be saying bye-bye as far as the Lions then is concerned.
Dear viewers, I think the heat is going up, especially when it comes to Hilarion here. I don't know why, but let's go on this bridge. When we come back, we continue on our topic. What is it that
Looking for a powerful way to make your business stand out? Want your products and services to reach thousands of people every single day? Welcome to Royal Advertising Agency, your mobile publicity powerhouse. With our fully equipped advertising van fitted with high-quality speakers, we take your message directly to the streets, directly to the people, directly to your customers. From busy markets to neighborhoods, junctions, events, and business areas, we move around town broadcasting your adverts loud and clear, creating massive visibility for your brand. And that's not all. Our advertising van also comes with strategic spaces for posters, banners, and flyers, turning every movement into a moving billboard for your business. Need more impact? Our energetic promotional team is ready to distribute flyers hand to hand across town, helping your brand connect directly with the public. We offer free business consultancy, audio and video spot production, graphic designs of all types. Whether you're promoting a new product, announcing an event, running a campaign, or growing your business, Royal Advertising Agency is your trusted partner for effective outdoor publicity. Don't just advertise, dominate the streets with visibility. Call now 670-743-034. Royal Advertising Agency, taking your business everywhere.
Yes, you are welcome back, dear viewers, and mind you, we are here just with Hilarion took off, but to tell you we have another great mind, another boss. I call him my boss. He is a sports journalist, he is an analyst, and why not a commentator in the person of Mwambo Edward Lyonga. You're welcome, sir.
Good evening and thank you for having me.
We are always honored to have you here.
The honor is shared.
Before you came in, we were talking about our very own national team, why Coach David Pagu says he needs his players to rest while not participate with the 2 games this international break, and also while the team will prefer youngsters, and which veteran, if you were to decide which veteran to stay and move along with these players in the national team. So what is your take on that?
Let's start with not wanting to play games during the FIFA window. It is the most unprofessional thing I've ever heard.
Okay.
I say so with reasons. Cameroon lastly played an international game during the FIFA series in Australia. That should be about 2 months ago. And by not playing in June,
to wait till September.
The window for those 2 games is between the 1st and the 9th of June. After that, everyone goes break.
Prepare for the World
and
Cup.
then they return after the World Cup for preseason in their respective clubs. That's why FIFA puts this window. That's why Nigeria, Benin, Burkina Faso, and the rest who do not go for the World Cup, Italy, are playing friendly games to give the coach another window to see new players, test the players, and know how his team is. Because, like I said, we lastly played 2 months ago. If we have to play again in September, it means we would have gone 6 months without a game, which is abnormal for a national team which has only about 9 games in a year. It is not unusual for Cameroon to skip these windows. First, there are lots of problems with our national team, so it comes like an escape route. You just come out and say that the coach wants the players to rest. What rest are we talking about? National teams have 2 games or 1 in June, and you, coach, comes and say that you want rest. Whereas a few days ago, the same coach was saying that they will have friendly games in June. They've already had opponents. It just will be fixed on the last details, and then they will announce. So when it comes out again and say now that we saw in a communique signed by the SG of Ikafu that the players need rest, I don't know what kind of rest, because it's not like Italy, Nigeria, Burkina Faso, Guinea, Conakry, and the rest are playing with robots. They too have players who are playing for clubs in Europe and in Africa.
And beyond,
Secondly, when you look at the Cameroon national team, how many of our players, first choice players, are first choice players for their clubs? So this would have been a chance for them to have a run in, because they deserve it. These players need this. They need this team bonding, these gatherings from time to time. Talking about which veterans should still stay with the team. Who are the veterans in the team at this moment, by the way? Because it's a continuous chopping and fixing process. The building continues forever. I don't know if there's any veteran in that team as it stands right now. So when you ask me which veteran should stay, I am a bit lost.
You see how the likes of the Nuhun Tolos, the Brian Bremo, those are veterans in the team.
If those are veterans, I don't know. I don't know how they became veterans, because Nuhun Tolo has been a mainstay for a couple of years now. But before that, we were wondering what was his role in the team.
Definitely.
By the way, Bemo has not had up to 20 caps for Cameroon. He's still growing in the business. So what makes him a veteran? I don't know as well.
So what if veterans, or you were given the opportunity to choose 2 veterans to come back? For the veterans we know, the names we know, he talked of the Vincent Abubakar. And when I said Onana, he said no.
Vincent Abubakar is not a player who should still be in the discussions for the Cameroon national team, if we have to be honest.
Okay.
Abubakar Vincent has had his time. He has done his bit. That explains why even at his respective clubs, he plays 1 season, a club offloads him. That's why, as you speak right now, his current club, Neftchi Baku, has told him thank you. So that we understand. You cannot put Abubakar and Onana in the same bracket. If not that, we are talking about everything else but football. Because Onana not being in the Cameroon national team is scores settling, not because he is not good enough or he brings something that is undesired.
Pride and ego. Do you buy that idea?
Not at all. We remember Javier Clemente, the former coach of the Cameroon national team, came to Cameroon as coach on the back of taking Spain to 2 World Cups.
Yeah.
He was coach of Cameroon. He made a call to replace Choupo-Moting. Everyone saw on TV. Samuel Eto'o, then player, refused that change. And it was not enough to push him out of the team. Cameroon was going for the World Cup in Brazil in 2014. Philemon Yang gave Samuel Eto'o the flag of the country.
He refused.
Eto'o refused that flag. He was not pushed out for those acts. He only left when his time was up by his own choice. A national team is not a church, right? That is why you have to have players with big egos who are managed by coaches, who are managed by the environment in which they are. Samuel Eto'o and Andre Onana is mirroring Eto'o during his prime, during his play day. And just in the same bracket, Eto'o was the star of the team at that time. He was the most visible player, the player playing in the best clubs in the world.
Same as Andre
just as Andre is now. He just won a 10th career trophy in Turkey recently.
Yeah.
Those are the things that put the country's name in the spotlight, which Eto'o was doing. And when you have a player of Andre's standing, there is no goalkeeper. These days, they go and bring
the passes,
they bring Gapandembu, they go for one goalkeeper, Sombang Mina in Cameroon, they drop later on. When you check all these goalkeepers, there is only Gapandembu who, in my opinion,
it's current right now
to be in that team because he plays for his club regularly and he does well.
But they'll prefer to bring back Epasi because maybe he's an ancien, even though he does not play in Saudi, but I don't know.
Epasi plays in Romania for Dinamo Bucharest. There is no way you compare that with where Onana plays. And by the way, the 2 goalkeepers are day and night. Onana is the day, Epasi is the night. When you avoid a goalkeeper because you don't want to manage his ego, you want to settle your scores, that becomes a problem. And there is a whole war around Andre Onana, which is not a football war. You have seen the videos last week on Monday. He was at the stadium to watch Colombia against Fortuna, and he was blocked. He was blocked at the entrance. The policemen who were on security had to overpower the FECA official at the gate
to let him in.
That is not football anymore. We have to say things as they are. It's our role to inform the public.
Not I'm trying to cut you short, Edward Mwambo, but you've been talking for over 10 minutes, and I see Hilarion looking at you and just exclaiming, Why are you exclaiming, Hilarion?
Well, there are key striking points that he has been able to list out. But I want us to be very sincere and frank. If we are looking at the Lions, then in which each coach has his or her own mentality, you are given a team to manage. Though within the context of Cameroon, that is a kind of somebody manipulating or conducting your activities from the backyard. But when we look at...
So do you want to say some of the decisions that was taken around Andre Onana, are they decisions that are supposed to be taken, especially in key tournaments, where he had to leave a tournament 2 days into the tournament for reasons up to date I cannot explain?
Let me tell you that it's not just the issue of Andre Onana. When I started the program, we started there, I made mention of the guys' egos or issues.
And pride.
And pride. Aside Onana, issues with Vincent Abubakar and others, though for the fact that he is getting towards at the end of his retirement age, closer to his retirement age. But that shouldn't warrant the fact that he should be silent as far as the team is concerned. And sometime of an honor participation, give him that honor to determine that this is my last AFCON to participate in. This is my last FIFA. So when you look at...
There will always be a last. When
definitely.
It
keeps going on.
It lasts forever. Spain is not crazy to drop Dani Carvajal, right? He has
definitely, because you see most players complaining that the Barcelona is being favored because they give the products, they have the results.
Can we come to the compromise that the fact of the likes of Vincent Abubakar, these are guys that the same way you just voted him out of the national teams or the national team
without giving us accurate reason, because if you want to keep hearing from both parties, we will not come to a compromise.
Exactly. He's inventing reasons, talking about pride and ego.
Definitely, that's what he said.
No one has said that yet, right?
No, that is based on my own say. That's based on my own say. I'm telling you based on my own say that for me, when we're talking about the Lions,
if you want to cite, let's talk with examples. Where has Onana or Abubakar shown pride?
I'm not talking about
what happened in the locker room. You and I, up to date, we are not aware, but we have to go by what the communique says. or what the other party has said.
When France, Domenech sent away Nicolas Anelka in the World Cup in 2010 in South Africa, the world knew why he was sent home.
Definitely.
The players of the French national team striked. They refused to train on the day because they were trying to show solidarity to their teammate. But then the French explained why Anelka was sent home. So if you are telling us that Cameroon's best goalkeeper, one of the best in Africa, can't play for Cameroon, give us the reasons. Let's not keep on speculating.
Let's talk about that solidarity. Which player in the national team as of now can stand up with that solidarity?
The players of the Cameroon
national team. They are living with fear. Fear too.
I am shocked that Hilarion is a journalist and it's asking me this because when the players called for Mununga to be reinstated as assistant coach, they were together and then they read a communique.
And the five people sitting down were excluded.
You know women's football. Cameroon's best player is Listiwa. Because she was part of the team that asked for Joem Doko to be brought back in Morocco.
She has been excluded from every category.
For the World Cup than to have her in the team. And not only her, the five who were just
definitely, even so the captain.
You should understand that in Cameroon, if you speak out, your head is chopped off.
Dead.
So the rest of the players are afraid.
So that is the reason I'm telling you that let's look back at our national team. Let's look back at the Lions then, and we'll tell you that the players that are being called up now, for me, it's a kind of new brand. A new football which says they are moving towards the future development.
That is why I asked you the question about youngsters.
Towards the future, you are dropping Nuhu who is 26 years. You are dropping Baleba, who is at his prime. You are dropping
the key players of the team. You are sidelining the key players.
You
definitely.
A binational like Ryan Fosso, who has no proven track record. You bring Olivier Kandem. You bring players who are not known anywhere.
The shocking part was the Mael Kandem. When I saw him on the list, I shouted.
And not Mael Kandem from a 6th tier club in Brazil.
Definitely.
Is that the future that you are building?
Let's look about when we are these players someone FIFA series. These are just FIFA series.
No, it matters. Those players came back. They came back with medals. Those players came back with medals.
That is it's not a tournament for you to say that.
It is a tournament that adds to their palmarès.
No,
mind you.
In which platform do you give new players a run?
But personally,
international breaks and tournaments like this, Hilarion.
And after window, we say we cannot play because the players should rest. So when will the players have a run?
We have been doing national camping. We go back to our local rooms and then we do the camping as usual.
Hilarion, all this bounces back to the next question I want to ask you. This bounces back to the fact that I want to ask you that can Indomitable Lions of Cameroon compete for AFCON 2027? We have seen our opponents for the qualifiers. Most people are saying, easy thing. No nation is small right now. If you have the likes of the Comoros.
We had as far as FIFA is concerned. We looked at our team and then we were able to say, no, wow, we have qualified for FIFA.
And what happened?
And as of now, we are still shedding tears as far as FIFA participation is concerned. But when we look at it,
so is Cameroon or the Indomitable Lions, are they prepared for AFCON 2027?
Openly saying the Lions then is not yet prepared.
Okay.
Based from the Indomitable, from the den and then the technical bench, we don't know what is going on as far as the Indomitable Lions team is concerned. When we look at the team, there are kind of shepherd deals behind that we don't understand.
He's not coming out finally.
Definitely. Answer my question the way I ask you. Are the Indomitable Lions of Cameroon prepared for AFCON 2027? I'm not talking about the qualifiers. I'm talking about the whole tournament.
It's a long way.
That is the Pamuja.
It's a long way to go. We should be talking that are we prepared or are we going to be ready based on how we are preparing. But how do we prepare well with a marionette as a coach? How do we prepare well when we sideline our key players? There is no way. Again, it is not a peculiarity of our main national team. All our national team. That's why they are all underperforming. So there's no secret that we'll go there again and do featuring because we are not doing the right things. These teams are not prepared. They are used for score settling. They are used to please friends of yesterday and future friends. Once you reduce national teams to that level, they'll all underperform. So if things don't change dramatically, I'm sorry to say that even if we qualify because we are in a group that we should qualify from, everything being equal.
Normally, our group already gives
everything
us
being equal. Going to the AFCON, we might go there again and clap hands that we finish at the quarterfinals.
Well, per se, I would tell you that the Indomitable Lions can qualify. But now,
how can they qualify meanwhile they are not prepared? These matches groom these players, they prepare them for the tournaments. But now we are having, how can I say, a friendly match-less window for the FIFA to end the year. So those going for the World Cup, we will sit our own national team players where we need to sit every night, maybe take a sip of beer and clap for our team. But all of us are going to sit home and watch other African nations participate in a tournament we are kings of.
See, this is something about football that we are not getting. It is not about recamping these players.
What is it all about, Hilarion?
That will warrant us to be prepared.
Okay.
I tell you, we can still recamp these players and then they come
No,
back.
Hilarion, I have been a footballer before, and we have this tendency of you prepare well with more matches. Who has played 20 matches and a player who has played 2 matches, even though this one is good, it is very different. But how do you want to carry a team that has not played together, has not had a lot of matches, and you think they are going to perform well in a tournament that is recognized?
I tell you, the game plan of Coach David Pagu, I buy into his
I
game
see
plan.
he's a fan of David Pagu.
Pagu has no game plan. Pagu is coach of
Coton Sport of Garwa,
who are struggling. His assistant coach is Belinga Alexander, who is coach of Sabio of Batie, who are playing the playoffs for relegation in MTN.
Playdowns,
that tells you that our national team is not being coached by the right gentlemen, and they play into the hands of those who are in charge because they are marionettes. No way you can succeed in such an environment. It's as simple as ABC. There is no other way to go about it. Preparedness in football is the right environment. Leave the guys in charge to work than control them from the background. Take the glory. We were in Morocco for the AFCON when Pagu won the game against South Africa. He was not the one who came for the press conference first for the mix zone. It was Gobert's song. It was because even when he wins, they want to take away the shine from him. So I don't know how to put it, but we have to be honest. No one loves Cameroon more than the other. Let's just leave the partisan thing and say it as it is.
You can see the heat out here at Royal Television. It's getting hotter and hotter. I have these 2 fine gentlemen here who actually know what football is all about. They know the insights of Cameroonian football and beyond. But let's go on this breather while we catch our breaths. When we come back, we talk about our domestic league. Right away from the indomitable Lions of Cameroon and why not the national team of Cameroon concerns, we are coming to the MTN Elite 1 and why not the MTN Elite 2 championship of our own very own country. Mind you, it is almost drawing the curtains for this same league. Elite 2 is almost at its end, while we already know the qualified teams for the playoffs up and the playoffs down and the relegated Eding Sport of Laleke and why not Racing Football Club of Douala. With this same fine gentlemen, we'll just try to diagnose some of the issues that is behind our Cameroonian league, and mind you, we'll begin with why Cameroonian clubs are actually struggling on the continental stage. We've had teams like Coton Sport of Garoua, the likes of Colombe Sportif of Nja and Elobo, Aigle Royal de la Menoir, and why not PWD of Bamenda, who have been out there. But we see only Coton Sport who have struggled at one end to get to the semi-finals of the CAF Champions League, but the likes of the Aigle Royal, the PWDs and the Colombes who end at the preliminary rounds are not even qualified for the tournament. What is actually wrong with our league or with our football teams in Cameroon on the continental stage?
We are celebrating that Colombes went past the first preliminary round. It was celebrated in Cameroon.
No news for Coton Sport.
2008, Coton Sport played the CAF Champions League final,
yes,
which they lost to Al Ali. Claudia, it will be intellectual dishonesty for me to say here that Cameroon's club's problems began when Eto'o became the Cafoot president. Because before Eto'o, the clubs were struggling in Africa.
Definitely.
The last one who still tried to give us some pride being Cotton Sport. Now, but it has become worse. It has moved from bad to worse under Samuel Eto'o, because we saw Fovo of Baham field in 7 players in their CAF Confed Cup game. Opopo traveled to Ghana with 13 players in their CAF Champions League game. We see our clubs going to the CAF Champions League when the other countries are already in like match day 7 of their playing leagues. We are not yet fixed on anything about our league. Our league stops for 8 months, at times 9 or 10 months before the league starts back. There is no way our clubs can compete in Africa. In our league these days, the champions are choosing before they kick a ball. So
Why
the
do you
rest.
say so?
I don't
I
know.
see
I don't
Hilarion
know.
laughing.
I don't
Why
know.
do you think so? Or
I
why
don't
do
know.
you
Is
say
there
so,
a press
Edward?
conference that this has been announced, or how?
I am saying so like someone who goes to the field to watch the games. Like someone who leaves Boya and goes to Dola and watch Elite One games, goes to Limbe, watch Elite One games, goes to Yaoundé and watch Elite One games. There is a narrative that is established from the beginning of the season. I was in Limbe this season in match day 1 with a big brother who came from Douala. He took me from Boya.
Victoria United
Against
PWG.
Bamenda.
Yes.
At halftime, he turned to me and said, "Bro, if not for the respect I have for you, I would have said let's go at halftime because this is not worth it." And what I am saying, if Hilarion is honest, he will say that is the truth. I'm not the one who gave the
Was he in
referees.
Limbe?
No, that's an anecdote, an example. It's happening every day. I'm not the one who banned the referees in Bamenda for the game between P and Info of Afan. I was not the one. The referees in Limbe in that game against P and Opopo have been banned till date. I am not the one who banned those referees. And I'm not giving you a secret that Bomba Martin had butted Jeff Ta'are in Elite 2 and now he's now an Elite 1 referee. No sanction. Because he was fulfilling a mission. When the referees become mission men, it takes away the shine
I
from
don't
the
know. I don't
players.
understand. What do you mean by mission?
When the referees become mission men, it takes away the shine from the players and the spectacle is killed. It is not. You
Can
can't
we say
believe it.
this bounces back to the situation in Bamenda last week between Unisport and PWG,
Claudia.
where the central referee was changed without any reason
Claudia,
given?
that's why they were all banned with the match commissioner and the match coordinator. They've been given
Suspended.
window dressing suspensions.
Yes.
Now, let me ask you another question. In the last 2 seasons, Opopo have banned 6 players for match fixing, right? It is a club saying that this,
Not only
this
6, I think 9.
nine,
players.
sorry,
Yes.
6 now and 3 last
3
season.
last season.
Domini and others, and now this Osogo and the rest.
Yeah.
Saying that these my players are selling games. The club saying it,
Manipulators.
and then they go and say that their lawyer has gone through the videos to confirm that these players are selling games.
And giving them a fine of over 1 million
$1
francs
million
each.
If we were in a serious championship, they will throw out that team from the league because that team has given us a false league.
Okay.
That is why Juve were banned from the Serie A and dropped in Italy because a few of their players were found guilty of match fixing. Now, it's not Fekafu that even went to do this investigation. The club is saying that we are confirming that these players, 6, are match sellers. That in itself ends the case. You take the team out of the league with a heavy ban. But because we are in Bobo setting where things are done in a unique way, the FA is quiet. Egg of Menua who stand accused are not uttering a word.
Definitely.
Because they are on the good books. That is why Egg of Mongo were handed 4 players. You read 5 players.
5 players.
Who are 32 years and above. On the grounds that they came from the early academy, players that we have seen play the Cameroon top flight for 10 years and counting. There is no football in Cameroon again.
My
what
question
we
is,
are
when
seeing
did
is drama.
Egle come back to the Elite One until they are talking about the academy?
Egg of Mongo, yes, and academy of players who have played for a national team of Togo. A player who has gone abroad. Serge Edouard has gone abroad and played in USA and Serbia. Then you say it's an academy product of Egg of Mongo. a team that has never had an academy in their entire existence. We are in a circus. There is no football in Cameroon, Claudia.
So, Edward, what can you say? What reforms are needed in the MTN Elite One to shape the whole scenario?
His problem is not even about reforms. His problem is about Eto.
Have I called Eto
He didn't mention. He is just trying to bring out where some of the problems are coming from.
As far as the Cameroon president is concerned, that is what has been causing the
issue. The league is being run. I have not said that. You are saying it. I remember I said
the problems were there before he came. He met the problem and continued in the problem
and worsened them.
Okay, because so he's going back to my point.
No, I'm going out to my own point.
No, he said he met the problems, stayed in the problems and continued in the problems.
Worsening them. What you said, I didn't say. I'm saying my own thing. And now, you are getting me mixed up. There is a serious issue. When Eto came, there's this thing they call CFTP,
CFTP,
run by Fortin Blaise Mbida. They said it was coming in as a transitional body. No, they were replacing the LFSA with this body to run the league temporarily, to bring back the league. We are in 5 years of transition, 5 years of a temporal body running the league, and that temporal body. Remember, when the referees in Limbe for the first game between Opopo and P were sanctioned, it was not by that body of Fortin Blaise Mbida, but by Fecafoot AG. And we have seen sanctions made out by Fecafoot to officials and clubs. Where is that body, that CF, whatever call it? What is its role?
Because even the ban in Bamenda, we discovered
the role of the body that runs the league.
We discovered the ban in Bamenda, actually, Edward. The ban in Bamenda, you discover it didn't come actually from the Fecafoot AG, but you saw Kamga Foku. So who actually runs this league? We don't know. It's an unanswered question.
Chaos, because Claudia, under this current dispensation, there is no way a Cameroonian club can go into Africa and do anything meaningful, because we are in a circus. They are acting down for us to clap and laugh, and we are laughing on. We are having fun.
So see, there are some key points that I just want to highlight here.
Okay.
Buying by your point, rather, Cameroon football needs restructuring. But one of
the reforms I'm asking about.
But one of the key points I want to contradict with him is this notion of publicly declaring that in Cameroon, football champions are declared from the office and then before the league starts.
Okay.
But when we look at the structure of Cameroon football, we first of all have to go back to the level of how these clubs are given license or authorization to function. We look at clubs in Cameroon that it is somebody one single person who determines that, no, you guys have to travel but today. No, you have to know this player will not play this one. So those are kind of the key things. So proprietorship is killing Cameroon football. Let's go back to the system. Let's look at the system that it is not only you about getting, let's create shareholders at the level of board of trustees as far as clubs are concerned.
And this
if you cannot operate
this actually brings us, Hilarion, this brings us actually to our next question that says, how can clubs improve these players' development and financial stability?
Now, let's talk about, see, how many of these players have contracts? Let's start from there. How many of these players have contracts? Sometimes you see a camouflage picture sent somewhere that there is they recently signed with this club a 2 year deal and whatsoever, and the next season you see this player playing with another club. Sometimes they don't even have the contract.
This my brother is out of Cameroon's football realities. He apparently loves the game because he gets the chance to rub shoulders with those who are in power, but he knows nothing.
Why do you say so, Edward?
Nothing about Cameroon's football. There is no player who can play for a club in a season without a contract.
Let's talk about, evidently, talk about a contract.
You cannot tell these players to present their contracts to you. You are not their boss. You are not their president.
Claudia, there is no player who plays for a club without a contract.
Of course.
Amateur clubs have an exception, that the Boya United, Prince of Boya, Prince of Boya, and the rest. if you want to play for them, you can play for 1 year and move to another club, because amateur clubs have a 1 year system. But you can tie down a player to a long-term contract based on the player's will, without which a player after 1 season has a right to move to another club at amateur level. At elite level, there is no player who is issued a license without a contract being given to the FA.
That's why you need a liberation document to move.
So I want us to talk football with football minds. When you come and say the club should give shares, one man should, The biggest clubs in Africa, Sundowns in his days, they just won the Champions League, was owned by Patrice Motsepe. It was a one-man show.
One-man show.
In Guinea-Conakry, is it Haifa? The name is on my mind. It's a one-man show.
In Guinea-Conakry, Horaya Ase.
Horaya, one-man show. The president of the Guinean FA. In Nigeria, Enyimba, during the time they were winning 3 Champions Leagues, was Felix Anyansi Ago, one-man show. In the DR Congo, Mazembe is one-man show. Maurice Katumbi.
Club presidents in Cameroon cannot actually run a club by themselves.
The problem is you have to create a football environment for football to be played properly.
Conducive.
When Cotonsport and Tonnerre and Canon were winning CAF Champions League titles, they were run by one-man shows. But then the environment was enabling to do football.
So do you think the environment right now is not conducive for these players or for these presidents to run their football?
They are not doing football. They are in a circus. Claudia, football business is a business that has income generating sources.
Of course.
Shirt sponsorship.
This same sponsorship bounces back to the fact that even in the Southwest region, I see a club playing with the sponsor's jersey. They are being asked to actually wipe off the name or they pay fines
Let me check
the live. I don't want to call the name of clubs, you get, but I saw that communique where it sanctioned some clubs because they had sponsors on their jerseys, and I see club presidents coming up to say last year we paid for this. So is it that you have to go through that same procedure every season?
Let's educate the masses. Having a shirt sponsor for the regional league, the club pays 10% of that contract to the FA. So if
for how long is that supposed to run?
For the season.
For the season.
If the club has not paid that 10% of that contract, the FA has a right to ask them to remove that sponsor. Now, talking about the Pro League, supposing Pro League.
Yeah.
Pekafoot has gone and signed a deal with MTN, imposing shirt sponsors, sleeve sponsors, back sponsors,
MTN,
everywhere that the clubs could have gone out there and looked for their own sponsors and have money to pay their players and run their clubs properly. They went and took money from all these sponsors. Now, the gate takings that are also an integral part of clubs' finances are also in the hands of the FA, with the clubs lamenting that they can't have the gate takings.
Okay.
When you deprive the clubs of these key sources of income, how do they run and pay their players? Then you come back and say that there is state subvention. You jumble everything up. You add the money there from the shirt sponsorship, which is their right. The only place you can ask the clubs to justify that they've carried those logos is if they fail to carry those logos on their shirts. They do.
And clubs have actually faced sanctions and warnings for not carrying these logos on their shirts.
We're not even allowed to play. For an entire campaign,
you cannot be given a ticket to play that game.
They carry the shirt sponsor here.
I've seen clubs that did not actually carry it from the beginning of the league, the start of the league.
Dynamo went and put Canal Plus. They had to cover it with the plaster.
Yeah, but now, it is their sponsor.
It was a lucrative deal worth over 100 million francs that Dynamo go with Canal Plus. They can keep it. Now, where
I saw that same thing with Cotonsport. They have UNICEF and the likes of Colombe that have Buka Voyage.
Where do you expect these clubs to get money from to run properly, give players salaries that can keep them in Cameroon? That's why the moment a player sees a contract to go to Congo, to Mali, like currently one of the top scorers in the Malian league is Cameroonian, Ken Tadios, playing in a club coached by Cameroonian, Stade Malien de Bamako by Mrenjo Abisek. When all the players who can play football run to these unknown and terrible destinations, Loic Fejo is now in Zambia for straight. Who then gives us quality in our own league? It is the kids at Opopo, because they want to play football, and the next thing you hear is that they were found in betting, and then the circle goes on and on. Cameroon does not have football. If now they say that the clubs have to justify that they are paying their players, justify from which revenue? The clubs are running on their own, paying their players what they can. You come and impose that you must pay your players 200k, and that you give them the money to pay those players. That money is coming from state subvention. You withhold the money, and then you say that they should come and justify that they are paying their players. We should talk football. In this country, what is happening now is a circus. I've said it 10 times. The 11th time, we don't have football right now in Cameroon.
Why at each time you repeat this same thing, I see my friend Hilarion will just like, he will laugh and mimic your words. Hilarion, what is wrong?
Hilarion is in the camp of those who don't know football but want to run football.
Hilarion, do you buy that idea?
It's
Mwambo actually correct with his words.
See, he has his words carefully selected, and he has the right to use them.
Definitely.
But whenever you look at the structure as far as what we know, people do know. And it is not everywhere that you have to go out and you rant about things that you know. When we look at the issue with Cameroon football and we go back into the drawing boards and want to talk about Cameroon football, it has been the worst, and we are still moving towards the same direction. And we cannot correct that same mistake by pointing fingers that this is good or this is bad, but rather pointing at the situation and the solution. You don't just point at a particular problem.
I think
you
I've
point
given
at the problem and the solution.
No.
No.
Give the clubs their money for the shirt sponsorship, or let them find their own sponsors so they can have money to pay their players. Let them have their share the gate takings. They can have money to pay their players. Those are solutions I'm giving.
I actually wish, dear viewers, I wish we had enough time to actually dissect these topics, but time is not on our side, and I just wish to thank this gentleman, that is Hilarion Tukop, and why not Edward Alionga Mwambo, for making it to Royal TV. But we promise you this is not over yet. Next week or Friday, we promise, or we think we can still bring this, so we dissect this for your understanding. What you didn't know about the Cameroonian football, we promise to bring it to you. Thank you very much for coming, Hilarion.
Well, it was a pleasure, and of course, rubbing minds with a big brother in the field, Mwambo. And there are things that we know, and there are things that he knows, and of course, we have gotten that, and our audience have been prompt about what is happening.
Thank you very much, Edward Mwambo, for coming to Royal TV today.
I wish I came earlier, but due to unforeseen circumstances and beyond my control, I only came when I came. Next time, I promise to be early.
Definitely. There's always a next time, I will tell you. But mind you, what I have to tell our viewers is Cameroon still has football. It is important to know that Cameroon has a football. I have been your host. I am Kusona Claudia Voma for Sports Box. Don't go anywhere, for News Hour is coming to you at 6:30, and Friday same time, we will still be here to continue on this one. Bye-bye for today, but we stay with you guys.